Yo, what's going on guys? My name is Dom and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to be making face thumbnails. These thumbnails can drive a lot more views to your videos as it allows the viewer to connect with the person in the video and also get a sense of the emotion and tone of the video before they even click on it. But anyways, enough talk, let's get right into the video. So first things first, get your Photoshop loading. Alright, now go create new, custom, and then set it to 1920 by 1080. Create, give it a second, and then now you should have this. Just delete your background layer. And now you're going to want to find a background for your thumbnail. You can just download a background pack. So now I've got my background in. I will leave this in the description, do not worry. But yeah, you're going to want something with a lot of sky and then some grass at the bottom. Not too many trees or rocks. And once you've got that in, click the layer, select filter, camera raw filter, and then wait for the window to pop up. Now you have the window, go to basic, and then fiddle around with some of these values. So up the exposure, up the contrast a little bit, highlights, kind of lower that a little bit, shadows, whites, but yeah, just fiddle around with these values. Blacks down, texture probably down a little bit, clarity down a little bit, and then we want the vibrance to be up, saturation to be up, not too much saturation though, maybe about that. But we want our sky to be as blue as possible. There we go, I'm happy with that. Boom. And now I've got a background. So now you're going to want to get in your face picture. The young stud that has the pleasure of being in this tutorial is the young Joshi himself. 41,000 subscribers on YouTube, pretty clouted, not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm just gonna roughly cut him out, like super roughly for now, and then we'll do it detailed in a second. Put him on a new layer, delete the one before it. Now we're going to select Josh's layer and press Q, and we're going to select our paintbrush. Make sure our colors are black and white. You can use the black to like add stuff in and the white to remove stuff, so we can just zoom in and kind of do this, and I explain how to like actually cut it out later. So now once you've done all this, press Q again to select it, and then just click the layer mask button and you should be good. Now for face positioning, this is very important. You're going to want to make it big so that it covers up like a big part of the thumbnail. You don't want loads of empty space, so I'm going to put this like over here. Maybe add a little bit of rotation on it, put it over here. Okay, that's looking good. So now I'm going to add a CC on it. So I'm going to go filter, camera raw filter, and now I'm going to select this to bring up like the before and after. I'm going to fiddle around with these values. So up the contrast a little bit, up the highlights a little bit, shadows down, whites up or down depending on the way the image looks. Blacks down, texture you want up a little bit, clarity you want up significantly, dehaze you want up a little bit, not too much, vibrance you want up quite a lot, saturation up a little bit. That was a little bit too saturated, so much desaturate it a little bit, and there we go. Now we've got that. Now we're going to go into the layer styles. We're going to add outer glow on it, you can up the opacity depending on how you want it to look. Boom. Add some inner shadow if you want, and there we go. Now we're going to make a start on our text. So we're going to do, for example, how to get views. So for this it's important to use layering. So we're going to think, how can we separate what's significant? So how to get views. So we could do how to and then get and then views. So now we're going to shuffle around with the resizing. I want this to be about as big as the how to, so move that down a little bit. And then the get, I want it to kind of go in the middle of them, and then we can move the views down a little bit. I'm just going to center it all just so I can get it all centered before I rasterize them. And there we go, that's looking quite good. And now we're going to add our layer styles. These layer styles I'm using you can get from my pack. The link to that pack will be in the description. I'm going to go for quite a common theme. So on the top I'm going to do like a yellowy color, maybe that layer style. For get, I think I'm going to use gray, so I might use this. I'm just going to brighten up the gradient a little bit, and then for views I'm going to make it red. I might just arrange these a little bit more. So now we've got our text arranged. We're going to right click and rasterize all the text. Going to add a little bit of warp on them, so we're going to transform warp for each one. Click arc, add like 3. Now we're going to select them all, put them in a folder, so now I can move them around like that. I'm going to put them where we want it, so like over here. You want the text to be quite big, obviously that's what you want the person to be seeing. We're going to add some perspective warp on it, go like that, go like that, go like that. So now it's got a nicer kind of hierarchy feeling to it. We're now going to get a layer, put it behind this, use a brush, put the hardness to like 0, make it relatively big, and just click and click again. Set the blending mode to either soft light or overlay. For this one I'm going to use overlay. Lower the opacity just a little bit. And then I'm going to make a layer over the text. I'm going to select red. I'm going to click right in the middle here. I'm going to use a really low opacity array just to get a nice sort of patch of red. It's quite soft, there we go. That's looking good. I'm going to put that over the views and set the blend mode to linear dodge add. As you guys can see, that adds a really nice glow. Do the same with the yellow, except I'm going to change the color. So now we've done all that, we can make another layer, get our brush, so we can do the same thing for like Joshi. Get our razor, we want to erase, so we just get something soft, and then adjust where it is, set it like around here, and we can fiddle around with this, set a blending mode to linear dodge add. As you can see, that creates a nice glow. I can fiddle around with the saturation and hue of this just to make it look better. Another thing is we can go in here and we can add a drop shadow to each layer, make it the same color as the layer, and then lower the spread up the sides a little bit, and then set the blend mode to overlay, or just normal and put on low opacity. As you guys can see, this is really starting to come together. I'm just going to adjust where the face is. I'm going to add a clipping mask here and get a white brush and just sort of go add some like edge lighting, set the blend mode to soft light. And now I'm going to put a layer above here and use a rectangle. I'm going to go around here like that. I'm going to up the size of it to like 30-ish, a bit more. Oh, that looks good. And then set the blend mode to overlay and add a drop shadow. Make sure it's black. Opacity 100, blend mode normal, and then you want the size to be a little bit more. Do that. Lower the opacity. And now for the finishing touches, we can just move everything around just to see how we can get this to work well. And there you go, you're basically done. That is how you do face thumbnails. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Be sure to like and subscribe if it helped you out. Check the description and there should be a project file depending on how many likes the video has. And also be sure to tweet me with any thumbnails you make using this tutorial. My Twitter should be shown on the screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video.